Good day, everyone. Another day, another topic and discussion. I am Christian Philip Salitubil, your teacher in English 9. Okay, for your attendance, just vote for the poll, and for those persons that don't have Messenger app and can't vote to the poll, just send your name and section to our GC, okay? And I will consider it. Okay? So now, let's have a short recapitalization of what we had discussed last week. Okay, last week we discussed the four types of information, and these are the factual information. Under the factual, we have two types of sources and how to gather information, or where are the information coming from. Also, we have analytical information, subjective information, and lastly, objective information. So those are the different types of information that we had discussed last week, right? Okay. For today's discussion, this is all about the direct speech and reported or indirect speech. So we are now in the week 3, module 3. So please bear with me, please listen and finish the video discussion, okay? Okay, next slide. So, before we jump into our lesson proper, let's have first our pre-activity. So, are you ready, guys? Okay, now I will read the direction for your activity. Please read and answer the following questions based on your prior knowledge. Write DS if the question or statements given is direct speech, and RS if the statement is reported speech. Write your answer in your notebook, and this is 2 points each. I will give you only 1 minute to answer this question, okay? So you can start now. Okay, time's up. Now let's check your answers. For number 1, let me read. He asked, "Where is my book?" So the answer is what? The answer is DS, or the direct speech. Okay, check your answers on your notebook. Okay, number 2. They said we will finish the project by tomorrow. Okay, what is the answer? Okay, right? The answer is DS, or direct speech. Okay, number 3. She told me that she had seen the movie. Okay, for this number, the answer is RS, or reported speech. And last, I can't find my keys. Mark complained. So in here, the answer is DS, or direct speech. Okay? How many scores did you get? Just comment down below. Okay, very good. And thank you very much for answering and for your participation. Now let's have our lesson proper. Okay, let's read our learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the student should be able to define direct and reported speech, appreciate the importance of speech in daily usage, and identify and construct direct and indirect speech. Okay? So now, what is direct speech? Again, for today's session, we are going to talk about the direct and indirect speech, So, but let's discuss first what is direct speech. Okay, so what is direct speech? Direct speech refers to the exact words said by a person. Direct speech is a word two-word repetition of what the speaker or writer has conveyed. In other words, it is the way in which you can report the exact words of this speaker. Okay? So direct speech can be used to convey something that is being said in the present or to tell someone about something that is to happen at a later point of time. Okay. So it is said here that direct speech is refers to the exact word said by a person. Okay? So direct speech when we report someone's exact words using quotation marks. The speaker's words are presented as they were originally spoken. So ito na yung mga pag sinulat natin or pag nakita natin or when we are reading, no? Ito yung mga eksaktong mga salita ng isang tao using quotation marks at nakalahad ito tulad kung ano yung pagkakasabi ng isang speaker or pagkakasabi ng isang tao. Okay? Did you get it? Again, direct speech is when we report the exact words spoken by a person. Okay, using quotation marks. The speaker words are presented exactly as they were said without any changes. Okay? So, in the direct speech, number one, the exact words of this speaker is given. These words are enclosed in quotation marks. The period at the end of the quoted part is placed inside the closing quotation marks. So for example, we want to go. The student said, tomorrow is a holiday. Trixie told us. So I will explain it. It is said here that when we say direct speech, we can see or it is using of quotation mark to the exact words that the speaker given. Okay? Also, there are instances if the quoted part is placed at the last part, the period should be placed inside the quotation mark. Okay? So, the next word is, yes, yun na nga. Pag sinabing direct speech, we can observe that there are quotation mark in the speaker words that are given. Okay? Did you get it? Okay. So, the first word in the direct speech begins with a capital letter. So, in direct speech, the first word quoted should begin in a capital letter. So, for example, we want to go, the student said. So, as you can observe, the first word is made with capital letter, okay? It is start with a capital letter. So another example, tomorrow is a holiday, Trixie told us. The student said, we want to go. Trixie told us, tomorrow is a holiday. Right? Okay. Okay, next, for the number 3, use comma or question mark or an exclamation point to separate the speaker's exact words from the rest of the sentence. Do not use a period to separate the direct quotation from this phrase telling who speaks unless there are several sentences together in a longer passage. Okay, I will explain this. So use comma for statements, question mark for questions, or exclamation point for strong emotions. Use this just to separate the exact word that being said by the speaker, okay? And remember that don't use period unless you're quoting multiple times, okay? For example, we want to go, the student said. As you can see, it use comma inside the quoted part to separate the exact word of the speaker to the other sentences or phrase. Okay? Another example, may we go? The student asked. In here, they use quotation mark. It is because, what? It is because the sentence is questioning. Okay? So, help, the old man shouted. Okay. Those are the examples of direct speech, okay, by the use of comma, question mark, or an exclamation point. Okay, did you get it? Okay, number 4, the introductory part may come before after or the middle of the quoted part. So it means that the introductory part, when we say introductory part, ito na yung mga sentences or phrase or words na hindi quoted or hindi kasali sa quotation. Okay? It is said here that the introductory part can be placed at the before or after or even in the middle of the quoted part. So, for example, we want to go, the student said, after the quoted part. As you can see, the introductory part had seen after the quoted part. But on the other hand, it can be the student said, we want to go. Before this example is before the quoted part. So in here, we can see that the introductory part is placed before the quoted part or the exact words of the speaker. Okay? Did you get it? Okay, so let us proceed. Okay, number 5. The word of the introductory part does not begin with a capital letter when it comes after the quoted part. So this is very understandable naman, no? It is said here that when the introductory part is placed at the last or after the quoted part, or the exact words of the speaker, the word of the letter should not be in the capital letter. No? So, for example, we want to go, the student said. So, as you can see, the quoted place at the first part of the sentence and the introductory part is placed after the quoted part. So it means that we should use small letter or lowercase in the first word of introductory part. Did you get it? Okay. Okay, for the number 6, the last one, when the quoted part is divided, the second part begins with a lowercase letter. So, it is mean that when a quoted sentences is split into two parts, no? Ibig sabihin, merong two quoted sentences or two words or direct words na sinabi ng speaker na kailangan mo for the quotation. The second part starts with a lowercase letter, no? Dapat naka-start ito siya sa lowercase yung second quotation words or sentences, unless it is a proper noun or the beginning of a new sentence. So this is because the quotation is continuing, not starting a new thought. Okay, for example, we want to go as soon as we can, the student said, because we are afraid the game will be over before we get there. So, as you can see or observe, the second part, because we are afraid, continues the original sentence. So, it starts with a lowercase letter or small letter. Okay? Okay, next. Ay, tapos na pala. Okay. So, now, so those are that is the direct speech, no? How to read or construct direct speech. Okay? If you have any question about the direct speech, just raise and send your questions or concerns in our group chat, no? So I can able to see and answer it since this is a video presentation, okay? And now, let us start to talk about what is reported or indirect speech. Okay. Okay, let us read the definition of reported speech. So, reported speech or indirect speech is the exact meaning of what someone said but not the exact words. Reported speech is the form in which one can convey a message said by oneself or someone else. Mostly in the past, it can also be said to be the third person view of what someone has said. So, this means that in this form of speech, you need not you not use quotation mark as you are not quoting the exact words spoken by the speaker. okay? But just conveying the message of what someone said without using their exact words. It usually it usually changes the sentence structure and often shifts the tense to the past. So instead of quoting directly, the speaker summarizes what was said in their own words. Sometimes or madalas, it is in the third person view. So yes, in reported speech, no, it is focused on the message, not exactly in the wording. Okay? Okay, so number one, the statement in indirect speech is changed to a that clause. Okay, so indirect yan, no? So in reported speech, the sentence will change into that clause or it can view as a third person. Okay, number two, only the substantial meaning of the words of the speaker is given. So in here, only the substantial meaning of the words can use or get. When we say substantial, it only the important messages or the main and key point of what was said by the speaker ang kinukuha natin or ang sinasabi dito. No? So, number three, quotation marks are not used to report the words or the speaker. So, yes, the exact words of the speaker are not quoted. Unlike dun sa kanina sa direct speech is quoted siya, no? Meron siyang quotation to identify na ito yung exact words na sinasabi ng speaker. But on the other hand, in direct speech, it has no quotation or it is not quoted, no? So um sa reported speech, di na ginagamitan ng quotation marks to separate the exact words of the speaker. It is because, what? It is because we are not using the exact words of this speaker. Okay? So now, for example, so we have here an examples. Okay, direct speech. So first, let's have a direct speech to let's compare the two, okay? Direct speech, are you hungry? The teacher asked her. So when we are going to convert it into reported or indirect speech, ito yung the result is the teacher asked if she was hungry. So as you can observe, no, in the direct speech, may quotation mark siya, may quoted part, and it highlights the exact words of what the speaker said. While on the other hand, in the reported speech or in the indirect speech, no, wala siyang quotation mark na ginagamit. But it has um, third person view, no? Na ginagamitan siya ng third person view. And also, as you can observe in reported speech, no, na there are no exact words by the speaker, but there is a the same meaning. Okay, no? May same meaning pa rin sila, but hindi siya highlights yung exact words unlike sa direct speech na tinatawag. Okay? Okay, another example, direct speech, he said the food is really delicious. So, pag ginawa na natin siyang reported speech, ganito na mangyayari. He said that the food was really delicious. Okay? Did you get it? The indirect and the direct speech? The difference between the direct and indirect speech? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, I think that's all for today's discussion about the direct speech and reported speech. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions and clarification, just raise your concerns in our group chat, okay? Again, thank you very much for listening, guys. Okay, now listen. For your assessment, just copy the question given and answer it. Just write it on your notebooks. After answering, if you are done, take a photo of your answer and send it through our GC. Okay? Thank you and good luck.